Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith Phillips, and we're on vlog like 4, 5, 6 of this series. I don't even know at this point. There's a link in the description to the playlist for this vlog series, but what I'm doing this month, in the month of August, is I'm outlining a book, and I'm taking you along with me as I do a lot of steps. Guys, the farther I get into this, the more I'm just like, this is a lot. Like, why are you doing all this? I know why I'm doing all this though, because I think that all of this helps me make the first draft less of a disaster than it would be otherwise. And the thing I hate most is ending up with a first draft that I feel like is almost completely unusable. That is a horrible feeling. So over the years, I have cobbled together this outlining method, and we are now on the final step. The final step, finally. I have completed all of the brainstorming, all of the bullet point scene lists, all of the beat sheet things and whatnot, and now I'm on to this step, which is the scene-by-scene breakdown. So I have a really good sense of the story at this point. I have a really good sense of the characters at this point, but the story could still go wrong if the individual scenes are not well structured, and that is what this helps me do. So what I want to do first, before we jump into more vloggity-like things, is show you this little template I have for myself and how I use it, what you're supposed to do with it. There is a downloadable template on my website, so if you want this, it's just a little teeny, it's not anything fancy, but if you want that, it's on there. I'll link to that below as well. So let me show you this real quick, and I'll show you where I am in the process, because I did do a little bit of work in the morning, but I haven't really started it. I'm just sort of like setting it up. So anyway, let me show you this first, and then we'll get into it. All right, so here we are. This is mainly from John Truby's Anatomy of Story, Chapter 10. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about this book and this little template on multiple occasions, so feel free to fast forward if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear about this dumb thing again. But for the newbies around here, this is what I use, and here's how I use it. So the first thing here at the top is just a really quick note of where are we in the story, what act is it, what scene is it. The beat sheet I use has like little names for each beat, just like Save the Cat, where it'll be like, this is the fun and games section, this is the meet cute, whatever. So I'll put the name of the beat here. The next thing on here is magic cookie. This is a concept that was described by Susan Dennard ages and ages ago. I'll link to the blog post if it's still up. I'll check and find out, but this is directly stolen from Susan Dennard. She likes to ensure that every scene of hers has a magic cookie in it, and basically what this is this is the hooky element of the scene. Why is this scene going to be exciting for you to write as the writer, and what is going to hook readers in? Why are readers going to be excited to read it? I really love this. It helps to make sure that the scene is necessary a lot of times. I've definitely had a lot of scenes throughout multiple projects where I get to this question of what's the magic cookie? Why is this so thrilling? And it's like, I don't know. There's nothing. So either if you can't figure out like, wait, this scene is like actually super boring, that means you either need to introduce something new to the scene to spice it up a little bit, or it could potentially just be deleted. So I really like that. I like thinking about what is going to enhance the scene, what is going to make the scene pop. Next is the date. I have spent a good amount of time creating a calendar of events for my current story, and so I note the day and date that this scene is supposed to take place on. Next is the setting. I try to be pretty specific here. I'm not just going to say it takes place in London. I'm going to say it takes place at Almack's at night in London or something like that. So setting is here. And then I like to list the POV. I write dual POV stories, so I need to know whose POV this chapter, this scene is going to be from. Most of the time, it's pretty obvious whose POV the scene should be from. Occasionally, I'll come to a scene where it's like, I don't know, it kind of could be from either one, and it would still be fine and good. So I kind of try to just make my best guess at this point. Sometimes it becomes more clear who the scene POV should be when I start working through some of these other pieces down here. but I'll take a stab at it. There are some where it's like, I really don't know, and I kind of just wing it when I get to the first draft stage. The next thing on here is the main character's change in one line. I'm not always able to do it in one line, but generally speaking, this is kind of keying you into the character arc, right? How is the main character in this scene, or the POV character in this scene, going to change from the beginning to the end? It's not usually some big dramatic change, but they should be changing in some small fashion so that by the end of the book they've had all these different little changes that add up to one big change, right? So I try to detail that out here. And now we really get into the meat of this whole thing. Every character should have a goal within the scene, even if they're not the POV character. If you've got a group of 3 or 4 friends who are having a discussion in your scene, each one of those characters has a different goal, a different desire, a different need, a different want within that scene. That's what can help really make your characters come alive. If they all have these different goals for the conversation, that's going to really make the conversation shine and be compelling to read, right? For this template though, I'm focusing in on the POV character's main goal. What are they trying to get in this scene? And they should have some sort of goal. They're not just like lounging around on a Saturday afternoon, playing video games and eating potato chips. Nobody wants to read that. That's boring. So there should be some sort of goal involved. It doesn't have to be like they need to save the world in this scene. It can be smaller goals, but they need to have something they're working towards or trying to get. The character, the POV character, should also have some sort of plan. If you want something, you generally are then thinking, how can I get this thing? And that's exactly what your characters should be doing too. What is their plan to get the thing they want? To make a scene interesting though, there needs to be conflict, and that needs to come from an opponent. Who is going to stand in their way during this scene? It could be themselves. They might be wrestling with some sort of like internal problem that is preventing them from getting the thing they want, so that's an option. It could be a natural element. They're fighting against a hurricane or something like that, right? But a lot of times it's another character. What character or characters are standing in their way of getting this thing? And what is the conflict? Why is this opponent opposing them? That's where your conflict is going to come into play. Why doesn't the opponent want them to get the thing? What are they going to have to do to overcome the opponent? And then finally, you're going to have an endpoint of some sort. Either your POV character is going to get what they wanted, or they're not going to get what they wanted. That's your endpoint. And then the final thing here is a twist or a reveal. So there needs to be something at the end of the scene that launches us into the next scene. So maybe they get what they want, but it comes with, some other kind of issue, or they don't get what they want and that makes things even worse. Like that's going to launch us into the next scene, right? Or sometimes if there's a reveal, they find out new information, maybe that changes their goal, right? So there needs to be something though compelling to make the reader want to turn the page. What is that thing? The final 2 pieces on here that I don't always fill this in for every single scene, but I do like to kind of think about it at least. And that's number 1, what problem will I solve as the writer in this scene? So the opening chapter is going to be introducing the main character. The problem I need to solve is I need the reader to be invested in the main character and to be, ready to like root for them through the story, right? And then what strategy will I use as the writer to do that? How am I going to get them to like this character right off the bat or be invested in their story right off the bat? So thinking about that kind of stuff can be really helpful in structuring the scenes. So that's it. That's the scene by scene breakdown. The other thing I'll sometimes note, like just sort of down underneath it somewhere, is I'll sometimes have little pieces of information that it's like, ooh, I need to put this in chapter 2, so when it shows up again in chapter 4, it'll make sense. I'll note little things like that too. Yesterday morning and this morning, I created a brand new blank document in my Scrivener file for this project. I copy pasted that template about 50 something times all the way down. I divided it into acts, and then I started filling in those opening top little pieces: the magic cookie, the date, the setting, the POV, the beat, act, scene, numbers, all that kind of stuff, like just the little bare basic information. I'm still working my way through that. I haven't finished that yet, but once I'm done with that, I forget how far I got. I got a pretty good ways into this. Hold on. I'd gotten into act 3, so I just am kind of I'm really just filling in the dates and the POV and the setting at this point. Once I'm done with that, I'll actually go into the like numbered pieces and really start breaking down these scenes. I find this super helpful. This a lot of times, even now, just like copy pasting this thing and filling in like the magic cookie and stuff like that. There have been a couple times already where I've been like, why did I think this needed to be a whole scene by itself? Like, this is just the character realizing something, which doesn't usually need to be like its own scene. They can realize something within a greater scene, right? I find that this helps me identify scenes that don't really need to be scenes by themselves. It helps me figure out, oh wait, these two scenes feel like they go together. Maybe it could just be one scene. Or there's been times in here already where it's been like, yikes, this is a lot to be happening in one scene. I think it actually needs to be two scenes. So I'm sure I'll have more instances of that as I go through each of these. At the moment, I have 53 scenes, and I'm hoping as I go through and start detailing all this out and I'm able to delete some, combine some, add some, whatever, that these, the breakdown will even out a little bit more. It's not terrible at the moment, but Act 1 has 11 scenes, Act 2 has 14, Act 3 has 15, and Act 4 has 13 scenes. It's okay. I don't love, it feels a little lopsided. We'll see what I can do about that. Ideally, you know, a 4-act structure, you're talking about 25%, 25%. It's a quarter, right? So they should all be about the same number of scenes. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit later today, maybe. I've got another thing I need to do now, and then I'm gonna fix dinner and do the whole thing there. But anyway, that's the stage I'm at for the moment. My original goal, if we wanna look at that, my original overall goal was to finish this whole thing by the end of the month. It's only the 7th, so I think I'm fine on that front. I had wanted to finish completely filling in the little template for Act 1 scenes by the 10th, which I think that's doable. Oh, that's Sunday. That's perfectly doable. Yeah, so that's not a problem. I'll have all weekend to work on it, and I'm pretty sure I can do more than that, but that's at least what I have to do over the next couple days for this vlog. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off for now, but I hope that was helpful, useful, interesting. Maybe you're like, yikes, I'm so glad I'm a pantser and I don't have to deal with any of that nonsense. Anyway, I'll talk to you later when I'm getting into the weeds over here. We're back in the kitchen for dish unloading time. It is Friday. It's Friday. You feel very far away. Come on a little bit closer so we can unload these dishes together. This morning, I got up. Hey, editing Meredith here. You are not going to judge me because I have a towel taped to our door. Leave me alone. Our dogs, if they see something outside, they go crazy. And I don't want, every time like the wind blows a leaf across the yard, I don't want to hear all of this barking and stuff. So anyway, we put this towel up ages ago. At first I thought, ooh, we'll get like a little, you know, like shades or something on there. Jade is going to destroy them. I know, like, that's just what she's going to do. So I didn't want to buy some kind of fancy blinds to put on the door. So we have this towel, okay? And it's just what it is. And I don't really care. And it's been there for years now. And that's just what our house looks like. Because most of the house has been given over to the dogs and their needs. All right, you can go back to the video now. I finished filling in the initial, like just that little piece of stuff at the top of that template. The setting, the date, the POV. I tried with the POV. And I did cut down the number of scenes, and it is much more evenly balanced now. So I'm very happy about that. I also counted to see how the POV split ended up with my initial thoughts on scene POV. That I'm a little torn. On the one hand, the split is not even. It doesn't have to be even. Let's just say that it doesn't have to be even. However, Celia is the main character, right? if you have a romance and there's two main love interest characters, both of them are the main characters, but typically there's one character that's like more the main character. And so for this book, it's Celia. So you would think Celia would have more POV chapters than Henry, since she's like the main character. Celia does not have the most POV chapters at the moment. I evened it out a little bit, so I think the split ended up like 25 or 26 to 27, 28, something in that range, where Henry had like 2 more scenes from his POV. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Celia should have more. And I went back through it a couple times to be like, could I switch anything? Does anything? And there's still a couple scenes where I'm not like 100% sold either way. So it could change. I think I'm going to stick with what I have listed on there for the moment and just let Henry have more scenes, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up. I'm sure I will change more as I get into the real like meat of that little template. But for now, that's how it stands. For the moment, it is almost 4:30. I want to unload the dishwasher here. I have a very simple dinner we're making tonight. It's spaghetti. It doesn't get too much more simple than spaghetti. I don't need a long time to make it, so I'll have a little extra time this afternoon to work on the scene-by-scene breakdowns for Act 1. I'd like to get through at least the first couple scenes. Do 2 or 3 of them, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how long it takes me, but get a few done at least, you know, and then kind of just be done for today because it's Friday. You know, it's Friday. I just want to be like done. So I'll do a few, and then I'll be done. And then tomorrow we're really gonna hit it hard and get stuff done. So let me finish this, and I'll see you back there. All right, we're back at it again at Krispy Kreme. I've got all my stuff. I've got my scene list. I've got my beat sheet. I don't know if I need the 2 of those things open, but we're gonna leave both of them open. I probably should have open my little like brain dumpy kind of notes because I know there's stuff in there that isn't in either of these. I'm not good at this. Oh my gosh. For all of the organizing that I try to do, it's still somehow unorganized. Let me actually, I can't look at too many things. Okay. Let me just try to get through the basic stuff. And we can always go back. We can always go back and add stuff. Okay. Let's go. Let's try to get through at least 2 scenes. It's 4:45. I'm going to give myself like 30 minutes and see how... Whoa, sorry. Give myself 30 minutes and see how far I can get. Let's do this thing. I'll give you this angle so you can see my excellent hairdo. All right, 2 down, about 50 to go. The goal, I think I said this in the last clip or somewhere. Anyway, the goal is to finish Act 1 by Sunday. I'm pretty sure I can do that. I'm excited. I feel like this is, unless I run into some huge snag, I feel like I'll be able to finish this way faster than my original timeline, which I am not mad about at all. Yeah, so anyway. 2 scenes down, a few more to go, a little bit, and yeah, but that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you back here on Saturday. The sunlight is sunlighting. Sorry, it's like so aggressively sunlight on this side and then like yeah, anyway. So, happy Saturday. It's 8 a.m., hence the insane sun. But would you like to do an unboxing with me? So, I have to explain this first because I was so confused when I got this. I was like, what the heck is this? So, a few months ago, I got an email from YouTube. And they were like, hey, would you like to join our partner reward perk program, whatever it's called? And I was like, they were like, we'll give you free stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but sure. So I signed up. Then a few weeks after that, they were like, hey, thanks so much for signing up. We have your first month's reward. And it was like a Chipotle gift card for like a meal at Chipotle. I was like, okay, I mean, I'll take a free meal on YouTube. Why not? I haven't used it yet, but you know, like I have it in my email waiting. Then a month after that, they were like, hey, it's your monthly reward time. And they sent me like a movie ticket voucher for AMC theaters. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'll take it. Then a few weeks ago, they were like, hey, we've got this limited edition thingy. Do you want one? It's first come, first serve, so you better hurry up. It was like hours later. Like the email came in and I didn't really look at it for a while. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's probably too late. I'm sure there was like 1,600 of this thing. And I was like, they're probably all claimed at this point, but they weren't. I like claimed one. And they were like, cool, we'll send it to you. And I just got it. But I was super confused because, hold on, I don't know if you can see it on there, but it says Red Robin. Now, if you're not from the States, this lighting is just horrific. I'm so sorry. If you're not from the States, I don't know how like widespread this chain is, but Red Robin in America is a like gourmet burger restaurant. The avocado bacon burger is in fact delicious. But I was like, Red Robin, like I haven't been to a Red Robin in years. Why is Red Robin sending me something? It's not. I don't know what that refers to, but it's from YouTube. So let's open it and see what it is. Well, I know what it is, but like, see what it looks like in person. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can figure out how to open it. Oh my goodness, look at it. I feel so professional. And you know what I'm going to do with this, in fact, because I will save the box. I am a millennial. But my plan for this is to save it for 30 years and then go on Antiques Roadshow, and they're going to tell me it's worth like $500,000 because it's a limited edition exclusive thing from YouTube. You know what I mean? Okay, are you ready? Oh my gosh. I'll look at this in a minute. Oh! That's actually really cute. It comes with a little marker and everything. It's a little clapboard. Look, it works and everything. Can't break it because we don't want it broken for, you know, Antiques Roadshow. That's pretty cute, honestly. I'm like scared to write on it because, again, do we want to ruin it for Antiques Roadshow? I don't know. Let me know what you think I should do in the comments. That's actually pretty cute. I love the little marker it comes with too. Okay, we're gonna save it and I'll figure out what to do with it later. Okay, that was super fun, but I'm actually gonna go to the grocery store like first thing today, just get it out of the way. Hopefully it won't be as crowded since it's like 8 in the morning and not as hot because it's 8 in the morning. It's probably still already 90 degrees out there. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the grocery store real quick and then we'll get back to writing. All right, I'm back from the grocery store. It is a little after 10 o'clock. I'm gonna try to lock in for like 2 hours and maybe power through all of Act 1. Is that audacious? I don't know. It's quite a few scenes, but I should be able to get a pretty good amount through Act 1 unless I'm messing around, and I'm not gonna. We're gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so that's done. And yeah, I'm like, let's go. So I'm on Act 1, Scene 3, which is the first chapter from Henry's POV. So let's get into it. Okay, it's just afternoon. I have finished through Scene 7. And right now, Act 1 has 11 scenes. So I think I can maybe finish it this afternoon. I'm gonna take a quick break and get some lunch, and then we'll be back to this. Okay, it's about 1:45, or 1:45. 1:45, I'm done. I'm done with Act 1. I'm feeling real good about this. So I'm going to take a pause on this for today. I have some other stuff I gotta do this afternoon, but we're schmoving along. Yeah, so I'm excited to get into Act 2. That's our road trip. I'm very excited. I think this is gonna be so fun. I'm so excited to write these scenes. It was super easy when I was going through and picking out like the magic cookie element for each of these scenes. So easy, because I feel like all of these scenes have some like really fun little piece to it, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna sign off for today. I will see you tomorrow. Jade, look. Good job. Jade, should we do something audacious this morning? Do you want to do something audacious this morning? She does. Okay, the audacious thing is we're going to empty this trash can. I know you've been looking at it in the background of my videos and you're like, girl, why? Also, why is there 2 trash cans stuffed inside of each other? I don't know, but that's what's happened here. So I'm going to get a trash bag and I'm going to empty it. Look at me. Also, I'm just, like, these trash bags are small. This is the content you signed up for. There it is. I'm going to put these trash cans back up here. The reason they're up here, okay, I do have a reason for that. Jade will just like dig in the trash if they're on the floor, like a normal trash can. So they have to sit up here. But I still don't remember why I have 2 in here. It doesn't matter. All right, let's get going. All right, so I've got all my stuff pulled up over here. I've got some water. I'm in Act 2. My original goal, remember these, my little checklist? My goal for finishing the outline portions of Act 2 was to have it done by the 14th, which is Thursday. Yes. I have family coming in town that weekend, like the 15th, 16th, 17th, like right in there. So I'm not going to be working over that while they're here. But I wanted to have Act 2 done by the time they got here, which I think I might be able to finish it today, frankly, or certainly by like tomorrow at the latest. So I don't think that's going to be a huge challenge. Then I'll have a little bit of a break while I have family here, and then I'll get going again on that Monday with Act 3. So there's no real rush. I feel very just sort of like chill. I'll get through what I get through, and that'll be good for today, I think. So most of Act 2 is the road trip, and there's a portion of it that's not the road trip, but a good chunk of this act is the road trip, which should be fun. I'm so excited to write this thing. Oh my gosh. But let's do the outline portion first and see how much we can get through today. Be such a good girl. I hope so. Good girl. All right, it's almost 11 o'clock. I am on scene 4. It's going a little slower than I anticipated, but that's fine. There was one, again, like, it's so stupid, but there was one scene here where I got to it and I was like, why did I think this needed to be like an entire scene by itself? Why would that be a thing? Act 2 is now down to 12 scenes instead of 13. So I love that. There's a scene here where I definitely think I need to introduce some more conflict. We're introducing a new character and I'm realizing it's just like they go and they meet her and she's like this personality and they chat for a while. Like what? So it needs something else. I'm not quite sure yet. I maybe just thought of something. But anyway, I need to work on that and then, yeah, keep going. But that's the little update for where I am currently. Okay, I need to go get lunch. It is exactly noon. I am on to scene 6. I've cut another scene out. So we're down to 11 scenes in Act 2. But yeah. Going pretty good. I need to eat though because I have a live stream at 1. So let me get on that so I'm not starving during the live stream. Alright, so the live stream is finished and I am also finished with Act 2. 2. We can check it off together. So that's very exciting. I'm way ahead of where I thought I would be at this point, which I'm not mad about. It's moving along real good. I'm really enjoying this. I cannot wait to write this story. I think it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. Couple things before I sign off for today. Just some housekeeping things. First, I need to say thank you to Jen for signing up over on Patreon. I really appreciate it. If you are interested in the Patreon, it's always linked below, but thank you again to Jen for signing up this past week. Second, you're seeing this video on Monday. No, you're not. You're seeing this video on Tuesday the 12th, hopefully. And that means that on Monday the 11th, the new round of Smooch Pit Mentors was announced. I'm very excited. They will be opening applications for Smooch Pit at the beginning of September. So if you have any interest in that, I have a video review of my experience in the program from last year / earlier this year. I'll link that below. I'll link to the Smooch Pit website. They've redesigned the website and their logo. It looks really nice. And their Instagram. Their Instagram is the best place to follow them because that's where they post the most, and any kind of updates that there are will be over there on Instagram, probably first. If you have any interest whatsoever in Smooch Pit, definitely check them out. I had a fantastic time last year, and it's what led me to the agent I ended up signing with. So definitely shining endorsement from me. And finally, you should get a video on Friday the 15th. Probably. I should be able to do that. I have family coming in town that weekend, so I won't be vlogging that weekend. But I'll vlog Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I should have time to edit all that before everyone gets here. But I also might get distracted cleaning this house before everyone gets here. Have you ever seen that old video, this one?
We gotta clean the house now, people! There cannot be any sign of living in this house!
That's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. But in any case, that is it for this video. I'm really excited with where I am in this process. I'm really excited about this story, and I'll see you on Friday, I guess, for the next vlog. If you liked this video though, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you can click the subscribe button. I usually post videos on Fridays. This month I was like, let's go for Tuesday Fridays because why not? But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.